Let's face it, the traditional way of making espresso using pump-driven machines is very unreliable. You need absolutely perfect puck prep, otherwise your coffee is going to be poor, and it can be incredibly frustrating. So I've been trying to look at different ways of trying to overcome this problem, and I think I may have found a solution. And this might seem really strange to you, but the solution is using springs. So in this video, we'll look at how to use these springs to maintain the resistance of the puck and how this impacts upon the quality of the espresso that you get. So in my last video, I talked about the problem of using traditional pump-driven machines. And in a nutshell, what happens is when the pump starts working, it tries to push water through the puck. So the puck offers some degree of resistance, the pressure starts to rise, and as the pressure rises and the puck starts to deteriorate, what you might get is channels. So water always tries to find the path of least resistance. What this means is water is then flowing through the puck in an uneven fashion. So you get areas of over extraction and areas of under extraction. And ultimately what you get is a poor quality espresso, which can taste both over extracted and under extracted. And this problem is exacerbated when you grind even more finer. You don't really tend to see this problem as much with lever machines. Because with lever machines, what you have is a large column of water which is pressing upon the puck. And as the coffee starts to extract, the pressure also tends to start to fall down, which in turn reduces the amount of channeling that you get. Which is why many people believe that the espresso from a pump machine is far inferior to that what you get from a lever. So the lever is more smoother, has got a better body, and generally overall it tastes much better. So over the years, manufacturers have tried to come with different solutions to overcome this problem. So some manufacturers decided to try and introduce pressure profiling. So this allows you to reduce the pressure as you wish. So what you could then do is use a declining profile as the puck starts to deteriorate. Or in machines like the Lilith Bianca, you have flow control. So you can adjust the flow rate, the amount of water trying to flow through the puck. And in this way, you can adjust the pressure. So what you can then do is compensate for the puck deteriorating by reducing the flow as the puck extracts. And these solutions work. Of course, they work to an extent, but again, the problem remains the same, that it's quite unreliable. So more recently, there have been many different methods which have come out to try and overcome this problem. And now the thinking is that you need to grind more coarsely to prevent this channeling. And by grinding coarsely, what you can get is an even extraction. The extraction might be very fast, but it is even. So you can extract quite a lot of the coffee in a very short amount of time in an even manner. But what this means is that the pressure at which it's extracted is quite low. This obviously means that the body of the espresso that you get is also not that great. So you might get a high clarity espresso, but with very little body. And this is the case with turbo shots and with the soup method. More recently, there have been even more innovations, and this is one such innovation. This is a step-down basket which is produced by S-Works. But there are many other manufacturers now that produce these. So essentially this is a 58 to 49 millimeter step down basket. So you have 58 millimeter at this end, and it then tapers down to 49 millimeter. And the theory is that with these step down baskets, so for the same amount of coffee, you get a bigger height, right? Because as compared to a 58 millimeter basket, the height in this 49 millimeter is going to be much higher. And the theory is that because of this increased height, what you get is less channeling, a more better extraction, and essentially it allows you to grind more coarser. So what you can get is a more even extraction. So with this step down basket, I think the dose is for 12 to 20 grams. And the recommendation is that if you're using less than 18 grams, you need to use this spring. So the spring sits on top of the puck screen and it applies a bit of back pressure. So as you can imagine, if you're using a lower volume, the puck is going to deteriorate even more quicker, so you might need to grind finer. And this helps you to avoid that problem by applying a bit of back pressure as the puck deteriorates. Now this is a fairly weak spring, so when you press it down on the weighing machine, you get about 2 kilograms. So this really got me thinking, can these springs be a solution to our problem? And it turns out that they are. So with these step down baskets, so I tend to use 15 grams in this with the spring, and it seems to give espresso with a good amount of body and a fair degree of clarity. So I thought, can we use the same principle for your normal extraction? So obviously the spring is going to occupy some of the space above the puck screen. So this spring is obviously not suitable for your normal 58 millimeter basket. So I looked around and I found this one. This is a smaller version, and this fits easily over the 58 millimeter puck screen. This is slightly more stronger than the other spring, so you get about 3 or 4 kilos. But the biggest change that I've seen is by completely changing the strength of these springs. So this is the spring that I found. I got it for about £2 on eBay, and this is a fairly strong spring. So as you can see, this provides a lot of resistance. And if you press this on the weighing machine, when it's fully compressed, you get about 19 kilograms. So it's much stronger than the other springs. And what this strong spring has allowed me to do is to grind coarsely and also use a smaller amount of coffee. Right, so my technique has changed completely. So with the current coffee that I'm using, I use about 12 grams. Right, 12 grams is nothing. Try making a coffee with 12 grams using traditional methods. You will struggle. But this has changed everything. So I use 12 grams. I use this strong spring, and that sits on top of the puck screen. And let's see what the extraction looks like. It's quite hard to compress. And when it's fully compressed, it exerts a pressure of about 0.8 bar on the puck. And this is what makes a massive difference when you're using smaller doses. So I'm going to use 12 grams. So I've got 12 grams of coffee in here. I'm just going to mix it well using the stability tool. Okay, that should be enough. A bit of superficial stability. So I'm going to use this puck screen on top, and then use this thick spring that will provide a lot of resistance. and prevent the puck from disintegrating. It can be somewhat tricky to insert the portafilter in. So what you need to do is hold it firmly, and then you need to position it and then compress the spring and then twist. That's it. So with a bit of practice, you'll be able to do this quite easily. Okay, pressure has gone up to 2 bar. Going to increase it. So the pressure is about 8 bar or so. I've extracted about 29.49 ml in about 30 odd seconds. Okay, so that's what it looks like. We have extracted about 22.35%. What does it taste like? It's absolutely delightful. There is a beautiful clarity with just the right amount of body. It's got the best of both worlds. I mean, there is so much complexity in there. This is far superior to using the normal VST basket or even the high flow basket. I mean, the flavors that come out are just incredible. And obviously the advantage is that you are saving on coffee as well. So I've just used 12 grams. Okay, let's start brewing now. Pressure is 2 bar. Let's slowly increase the pressure. So essentially, by using this strong spring to provide back pressure, as the puck starts to deteriorate, it stabilizes the puck, right? So initially, during pre-infusion, what you will see is that the water flows through fairly quickly because the grind is coarse. But after pre-infusion, when the coffee starts to swell up and the pressure starts to rise, the resistance provided by the spring and the puck stays the same, right? So what you can get is a high pressure extraction, 8 or 9 bar, and the espresso that you get has excellent body and also good clarity. I know the two often don't go together, but trust me, you get a good balance of body and clarity by using this spring. Please try this and let me know what you think.